Yo, the market sputtered. Is this the beginning of the end? Are we going to have a correction? I'm going to show you how to read this thing, and we're going to figure out how we're going to be able to time this right and make some money. It's Stocks and Hip Hop. Yo, thank you for coming back to the channel. I appreciate it. If you did not hit that subscribe button, do that. I'm going to show you how to read charts in the very simplest way possible. We do this weekly, so that's why you hit subscribe. I'm going to show you how to do this every week, just looking at regular charts and the indexes, the S&P, Dow, Russell, and Nasdaq. I used to have trouble doing this, and once I learned how to do it, I made it my lifelong mission to make sure to show you and other people like you how to read these charts simplistically. So let's go ahead and get straight into it, and let's make it very easy. Today's Wednesday. Normally I do this on the weekends, but I had basketball tournaments, all that stuff. We had fun, but now it's time to get busy. S&P closed at $6,037.88 most recently. Over the week, we closed at, what's that close there? That close right there. Boom. That close was at $6,040.53. We had a target last week of closing near the record highs because we had a little bit of momentum. That has slipped, and we've gotten closer to our support level around that 6,000 area. So this is how we do it simply. Where can we go from here? What we want to do is we want to look for the patterns. Last week I revealed to you how easy this is, and I'm going to show you once more how we do this. We take a look at how the candles close. Once we get an idea of that, we can get some price targets. So let's do it. Our two price targets that we have for the S&P this week's close. We are at the support level right now, and you can see we have had a little bit of a struggle now recently. That 20-day moving average has continued to bounce, but it is facing some serious pressure right now. So let's get our two price targets. Upside target right now is if this support does continue to hold at this 6,000 area, and we will likely return back to retest around those highs, around that 6,100 area. You can see that we have been there a handful of times now. That's 1, 2, that's 3, 4, 5. Each one of those times have shown a sell, and that is our resistance. So our price target is near the resistance area around that 6,100 area. Downside target is very similar. We can see that if this has broken, we have returned to around this 5,800 area. We've been there before, here, and each time we have been around this area before, we've also touched around that 5,800 area. So downside target is, you guessed it, 5,800, and that's how we keep it very simple for reading our charts. You can apply this to any chart that you see and that you want to invest in. So this is how we do it, all right? S&P, upside target 6,100, downside target 5,800. Taking a look at what the Russell has to offer, we use ticker IWM. IWM recently closed at $226.93. As far as the pre-market right now, we show a little bit of an upside of $1. We recently closed at, what's that close? $226.48. So we're pretty much flat for where we recently closed at. And we talked about this before, right? The trend of the Russell has been opportunity for a cup and handle, right? And we've also had a close higher, and we've gotten to our support area, our resistance areas, and have fallen recently. So that trajectory has to be upheld, otherwise we see a reversal. So yo, where can we go from here? Let's take our chart and get our two price targets. Price targets right now, we are still hanging around this resistance area. I said last week that the Russell has to close above its resistance area strongly, and I was around that 232 area for it to do it. If it wasn't, then the downside target was for it to return to around that 220. We did that so far this week. We got pretty close there. We got so far a low of 220.67. That is tested. It has bounced. We want to remain as close as possible to that upside, because if we lose that momentum, it will likely fall. So upside target right now is around this 230 area. Downside target is if this 220 breaks, we will make a strong move back down to around this 215 area. We've seen there's been some candle action there before. It can likely return there because of that. Next on our list right now is the Dow, and we use $DJI. The Dow recently closed at $44,556.04. 4 cents. And we zoom in and we can see here that we have tested out those highs. It has fallen and it has not regained that as of yet. We are holding on tightly near that support area. And we want to have continued momentum. Could this be a double top? Could this be a double top? We have the very strong likelihood of that happening there. We had a top here at this record high and we recently touched it and fell. So where can we go from here? Let's get those two price targets. We take a look at where those candles are at. We read our chart. Do we have any momentum, anything giving us an idea of where they change is? And right now, I mentioned the double top opportunity, and we've seen that prices have held and are trying their best to hold. So upside target right now is if we can retest near where we've fallen from, right? That's that 45,000 area. We've tested there before, did not hold. Can we test it again? So that is our upside target. Downside target is going to be if this does not hold. You can see that it has fallen very quickly last time that it faced off at 45,000. It's going to likely repeat. So our downside target is very volatile, as a matter of fact. We can get to around target 1, this 43,500, or target 2 of 42,000. Volatility can kick in. We have seen it in this range of above 42,000. It has moved very, very rapidly. So I can likely see that volatility returns because this range has breeded it. So upside target 45,000, downside target, lowest downside target is 42,000. And lastly, let's take a look at what the Nasdaq is cooking up. All right, it's at $21,566.92 as a recent close. On the week last week, we closed at 21,478. And last week's target was for it to stay close to that 21,000 area, and it has done that. And we continue to hang tight. As you can see, since we've gotten up here, the candles have remained pretty close in this range. So where can we go from here? Two price targets. Let's get them. Upside target right now is if we can return back to retest out that high around that 22,000 area. This is no different than last week. And downside target right now, I'm going to actually shift it. And the only reason why I'm going to shift it is because we're showing that this is stagnant. The stagnation here can show that the market is looking to make a reversal. We already pointed out before this very candle formation of this bearish engulf, and that can be the signal of a pause. It has definitely paused. If we have a break of this 21,000 area, this will likely move swiftly to the downside. So upside target 22,000. The downside target is remaining at 21,000. If we do have a break of 21,000, it will likely come down to this 20,000 area very, very fast. So let's go ahead and wrap up what we got going on here. All right, all four indexes right now are showing some pressure. Last week, we talked about that pressure and how it could apply to the market. This week is playing out to show that pressure is still there and it is mounting. The market is likely heading lower. It's likely heading lower, and price targets of the low sides are what I am looking to actually hit. So how do we make money off of that? If you're not familiar with options, you can obviously just get puts, there's put spreads, stuff like that. If you need some help with that, you can always shoot me a message, put that in the comments. If you need some help with that, comment help. I can definitely show you how to do that. If you're not savvy on options, you can obviously just hold. Just hold your positions. If prices get lower, you can just average down. That's a very simple strategy that can be done by anybody. So those are two very easy ways in order to take advantage of prices moving lower for you. All right, so wrap it up here. We got the S&P right now. Got some pressure. We're seeing that it can likely start to move lower. We have IWM that is faced off against its resistance and it has failed getting above that failure of getting above can signal that it is ready to rest and move lower. We also have the Dow, which is signaling a potential double top formation where it has hit 45,000 twice now. And it has shown that it is very range bound in between 42,000 and 45,000. So we are getting the opportunity to see if it can move lower to that 42,000 target. And then the Nasdaq right now is also showing, since the bearish engulf has shown its face, and we highlighted that in the video before, that it will likely be a stall, and it's definitely stalled. That stalling can lead to a move lower. So a leg down in order to get back down to its low side target, and that is around, what did I say for NDX? That 20,000 area for NDX. So that is it right now. All four indexes right now are going to have to show and prove. This week is going to be major in order to help show that the bulls are still in charge. Are they? And if they are, they have to show up now. If not, then the bears are likely going to take the reins and move the markets lower. So that is it for now. Always leaving on a message and making sure that you take care of yourself. Your health is your wealth. I love doing this finance stuff. As you know, I've been doing it for years, and it's fine. It's fun. However, your health is your wealth. You got to take care of yourself out here. I'm going to add one more here. Read the ingredients on these labels. I'm telling you, read these ingredients on these labels. If you can't pronounce it, you can't eat it. Put it that way. Take care of yourself. Health is wealth. Drink your water, get your exercise, and spend time with people that you love. Do those three things, and you will come out above. All right? That's a bar. That's a bar. I just said that right there. All right. Enjoy yourself. I will catch you next video. All right. Peace.